Yeah, my name's Mitch. I'm from Trov. So we are a 4-year-old company based out of San Francisco, but with a presence in both Australia and the UK. And essentially, our mission is to reinvent insurance one item at a time by harnessing the data about the individual assets that people own. So why do we think this is something that is worth doing? So Trov itself is a mobile application that enables people to collect information and data about all the assets that they are purchasing. So you add items to your Trov, and then we pull down contextually relevant data like photos and market values and things like that. And sort of when we were researching who this might sort of resonate with, our research showed us that up to 85% of 18 to 35-year-olds have no form of home and contents cover. So as these young individuals are continuing to get locked out of the property markets, and as they're continuing to shun motor vehicle purchases in favour of things like ride-sharing applications and other forms of mobility, what is underlying that trend is that these young individuals, who are soon to become one of the biggest purchasing groups in our broader society, have no introductory pathway into an insurance relationship like people of previous generations had. So no longer are they buying that house and then having to go and get contents insurance, and through that process becoming familiar with what it means to get protected and be protected in their lifestyle. And so we thought that that was a problem definitely worth solving, and we believe that the insurance industry more generally faces a big problem, because if those trends continue to propagate, then society itself will remain heavily underinsured, and that's not only going to be a problem for the industry, but for those individuals as they mature through their lifestyle. So what Trov is and what we are looking to launch is essentially a fully mobile, on-demand insurance offering for the individual items that you care about the most. So through our mobile application, we will deliver an end-to-end insurance experience that basically covers everything from pricing, quoting, underwriting, all the way through to claims management and back-end claims process management, which is managed by our underwriting partners. So all of this is facilitated by our proprietary cloud platform, which basically houses all of the technology required to do that. To be honest, that is something that we never envisaged building ourselves, but through our, I guess, ongoing relationship and work with our underwriting partners in each of our locations, we went through a very similar experience that I imagine a lot of you have been through, and that is that it is very difficult for a startup of our size and our scale to integrate with legacy systems, especially to provide an insurance product that doesn't really fit into the current product set. And we believe that for the insurance industry to really start to re-engage with this customer set and start to protect them as they grow old, that what we need is not just a new engagement model and not just a new way of selling the existing product set, but what we need is actual new products. And so what we've set about doing with the help of our underwriting partners in Australia and the UK over the last 2 years is to actually design that product. And I think the powerful thing about what Trov will deliver is that it is an insurance offering that is delivered in context, and for that reason becomes specifically relevant to the young individual and their lifestyle. So what I will show you today is essentially a sneak peek at the product that we're about to launch in Australia within the next probably 2 weeks, and that is the fully mobile digital on-demand insurance product for the individual items that you care about the most. So with no further ado, I'll switch to my phone. So I am very much at the behest of the Wi-Fi gods here, so please bear with me if this doesn't go fully to plan. So this is Trov. So as I mentioned, in this experience, we collect all the information that's relevant to you about the individual assets that you own. We basically, as you purchase things, you can add items into your Trov, and we've got a number of means by which you can do that. So by clicking on the plus button down here, you can either search our database, you can scan a receipt, you can take a photo of an item, you can look up motor vehicles, you can look up specific addresses, and if you have an email address and you do a lot of online purchasing, you can link your inbox so that any e-receipts automatically get picked up and those items are automatically added into your Trov. So once they're in there, we start continually pulling down contextual information about those things. So here's an example of a property that has been added previously and is changing in value. And through the delivery of that information, we're providing a rich context in which the proposition to protect these things becomes very relevant to the consumer, and we think will be very powerful to them in their lifestyle. So let's have a look at what it actually looks like to protect something. So having added specific items in, you'll notice that when we go into our list view, we've got a couple of icons in here that show us what is protectable and what is protected. So the blue shield next to that iPad says that that item is covered and that you're protected wherever you are, and you can turn that protection on and off whenever you want. The iPad below with the grey shield denotes something that is protectable, so something that a customer can go in and get a quote for and then take out protection. So getting protection is as easy as a swipe and a click. So you swipe right on that item and then click protect. And this is where the Wi-Fi becomes very important. But this is where we hit our cloud platform to pull down a tailored quote. So the quote is tailored both to you as an individual based on the information that we know about you as a Trov customer, and also to the specific item that you're looking to protect. So what we wanted to do with this screen was two things primarily. Give the customer some choice in the product that they're purchasing, both as a means to give them a sense of customization and also to give them a way in which they can explore the product a little bit and understand more about what it is they're purchasing. And then the second is to have them leave with a feeling of understanding about what it is they're actually purchasing. So from within this screen, you can toggle between your daily rate and your monthly rate, which you will get billed monthly based on your choices below, which you are basically playing with using this slider bar. So the customer can play around with their excess level, which has an impact on their daily and monthly price. And once they're comfortable with a price point that they think is right for them and that they think they can manage in their lifestyle, they can click here and they get what we call our summarized policy information, which is basically a distillation of the product that they actually are purchasing. So here we tried to do away with 60-page policy documents and actually give something to the customer that they can understand and actually have them leave the purchase process knowledgeable about the purchase they're making. So here we summarize all the key points about the product, what's covered, how you can turn protection on and off, which is I guess a key functionality within the product itself. How does pricing work? How do I make a claim? What's not covered, so any specific exceptions to the policy. And then also at the end, access to the underlying policy documentation, which I will note is a significantly rationalized version of an insurance contract. So once the customer is happy they know what it is they're purchasing and they're happy with their price point, all they have to do is click purchase protection, and then that is essentially all they need to do. So that iPad is now fully protected. You can see the specific details about what it's going to cost you per month, and once again access your policy documents. So for a young individual who may use that iPad on their daily commute to remain productive for an hour each way on the way to work, that is something that is specifically fundamental to their way of life. It makes them succeed in their job, and that should be an item that is protected. But the reality is that with today's insurance products and with the behaviours of that customer set, that typically is not the case. So we believe that this product is something that will enable people to protect their way of life and enable them to succeed in the future. So once you've got something protected within your Trove, the process for re-engaging with that protection, so for turning it on and off and for making a claim, is as easy as it was to take out cover in the first instance. So swiping left here, you can reveal the option to unprotect that item, and by swiping right, you reveal the opportunity to go into the claims process. So let's have a look at that. So with the claims process, the key design principle that we wanted to implement here was to build an engagement model that interacts with the customer the same way they're accustomed to interacting with their friends on a daily basis. And so that is through what we call an automated chatbot. So the whole claims process is contained within the mobile application and is essentially an automated conversation between the customer and Trov. So as we go through this process, I just choose what happened. So what this process enables us to do is basically have a conversation with the customer and collect all the information that we need to process that claim as quickly as possible. So through this process, we ask the customer things like what happened, where did it happen, can you provide free-form text descriptions of the event as it related to the item. You can upload audio, you can upload photos, and eventually you'll be able to upload video to support your claim. And the beauty of this process is that from a technological perspective, it is very scalable. So the conversation itself, in its sort of vanilla form, is fully automated. In the back end, as you are updating information about your claim, that's going into our web-based claims portal that our underwriting partners use to manage and adjudicate claims. And all the information that is uploaded becomes available to them. And through that portal, they can seamlessly interject in this conversation and start chatting to our customers in real time. So if we notice a situation where maybe we need some additional information or we have a customer that needs a little bit more attention, our guys can get in there and start interacting in real time with the customer. So as you go through that process, you submit the claim fully in the mobile experience, and then that is it, that's done. All notifications regarding status and completion will be delivered to you through the mobile app, and there is essentially no need to communicate with us through any other channel.